All right, it is now time for the Week 9 Fantasy Show. We are getting closer and closer to the end of the regular season, and these weeks become even bigger and bigger to see who's going to make the playoffs. It felt like last week was the first big week of matchups that kind of set the standings up to where you can kind of get an idea of what's going to happen down these next couple weeks as far as the playoff picture. Looking at what happened in week 8, starting with my uber close matchup versus Ernie. I get a massive win over Ernie, 114.38 to 114.18. Very close to a tie, point 0.2 away. Go to 3-5 with the big win, send Ernie to 2-6, and his unlucky struggle of a season continues. He's lost a lot of high-scoring games, as we've talked about before, and then this week we both had either bye/injury issues, and Ernie falls in a very tight one. Bo Nix had a great game for me once again this week. Vidal started it off on Thursday night strong for me with 19 points. On Ernie's side, Drake May and Barkley. Those were kind of the highlights of both of our teams, though, quarterback and running back. After that, it got rough. Judkins got hurt, only got 4.7. Pollard did shit. Started the wrong guy, Pollard over Harvey. I should have started Harvey, who I got in a trade. He had 24 on the bench. Pickens did okay. Tez Johnson did about as good as I could hope for. McLaurin, who I traded for, got a touchdown and got just enough on Monday night to give me the win.
He also got injured.
And now apparently he's injured on that great catch he made down the sidelines that ended up getting me the win. Apparently he somehow injured himself on that play, even though I watched the replay. He gets right up and walks perfectly fine to the sideline. So I don't understand how he got injured there. And shout out to Shaheed getting me 14.5 points. On Ernie's side, he started 3 tight ends. Almost worked, except Dalton Schultz, the one out of the 3 that I thought would have did the better game, had the worst game with 4.4. His Pitts and Njoku did good enough, though, to help him out, and it was obviously a rough start for Ernie when he got a goose egg 0 from Quentin Johnson. Is there anybody else this year that was the biggest sell high candidate than Quentin Johnson? After the first 4 weeks, he set the league on fire. That would have been the perfect time to trade him. Yeah, him and Etienne are kind of the two that come to mind. That was a huge trade now, high candidate. I mean, look at the last 3 weeks, 6.9, then by 11 and 0. This past, and only played 50% of the snaps. So rough for Ernie. He falls to 2-6, so it's looking very grim. Ernie's going to need to go on a serious run, and if when we get to week 9 matchups, his lineup is absolutely bye ridden. So it's going to be tough for him even next week to get a win. So this was a big win that he could have used, and instead I get it. Anybody have any thoughts on this matchup?
Ernie's cooked.
You got lucky, golfer.
All right. Well, I'll take it. That is.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but you got lucky.
I will take it. All right, moving on then to the second matchup of last week. Cronky was going to be in here but had something come up. It's a shame because I would have loved to hear his reaction. Maybe he'll join in a little bit. Slaps
I think his family emergency was that he didn't want to listen to me.
So you're saying he faked a family emergency to avoid being on the show with you today?
I am saying he might be.
Wow, strong accusation there. I'm sure Cronky will respond to
he
that.
might be.
Okay, well, yeah. I mean, he's not here to talk about his absolutely shit beating that you gave him. 136.16 to 90. 90 for Cronky's team? What? The so-called perfect team that Cronky felt was like in a great spot goes out and lays a dud. Slaps gets 20 from Justin Fields, who only started because Tyrod was hurt, and it actually worked out all right. Josh Jacobs had his okay game. Chase Brown, a finally welcomed addition, with 25 big points. Looked great. Finally had a breakout game, although it was against the Jets. If you can't do good against the Jets, then you're never doing good. You had to start with Xavier Legette, which didn't work out. Jawan Jennings came back and really didn't do much, but on the other side, Bourne didn't either. Hawkinson was shit. Fat diarrhea just continues. That could be another one that was maybe a trade high candidate early in the season. He had huge games the first 5 weeks, and these last couple weeks has been absolutely horrible. But part of that is no Jaden
schedule's
Daniels.
looking good moving forward. So
okay, well they're gonna need Jaden Daniels to get healthy. Tucker
He
Kraft
could play
though.
a fucking high school JV team, and he'd be shit.
Tucker Kraft, a monster. He was the tight end this week. You know, after the 1 o'clock tight ends went off, and none of them really popped off on National Tight End Week, I was like, somebody's got to have the monster tight end game this week at National. And then that Sunday night game, I was like, you know what? It's going to be Tucker Kraft. And sure enough, right out of the gate, he goes off, and it was him with 33 big points. And shout out to Chris Boswell. He had one of his typical Chris Boswell games, making all the field goals, making kicks look easy for fun. 50-yarders, 22 huge points. On Kroenke's side, Jalen Hurts did his normal thing, which he's now traded back to Slaps, actually, which we'll talk about. The big story for Kroenke was he got off to a horrible start on Thursday night with Jordan Mason just looking like he never was the starter. I mean, this guy was the starter the last few weeks and ran pretty well, and then they just don't even use him at all. 4 carries for 3 yards. 1.6 points, just absolutely horrible. So that's got to hurt now, which Kroenke's addressed in the trade. Bijan had his worst game of the year against the Dolphins. That's a major shock from this week. 5.8 points against the worst running team in the league. I guess that's just because Pook picked him as his prop, so maybe that's why he decided to shit the bed. But that was good for Slaps. Jefferson just did okay, but nothing crazy. That's kind of just the Jefferson line nowadays, 15 points. And then his tight end did nothing. Keon Coleman, who he traded for, just continues to do nothing. And then he started Tyler Algier as well, which actually had more than Bijan. And his kicker did all right, but other than that, just it all adds up to 90 points. Horrible. Sends Kroenke to 4-4. It's a huge win for Slaps. Before this week, I don't think too many people gave Slaps a chance to win this matchup. A lot of people were calling for maybe Slaps starts to fall after this week, losing this to Kroenke, but it didn't happen. Slaps goes to 6-2 now, so a very strong record and looking good for the playoffs. Kroenke takes a step back. Slaps, your comments after this massive blowout win over Kroenke, who has talked a lot of shit on you.
Well. Here we are. The point of the season every year that we seem to be seeing me beating Pusa. That just seems to be like the norm now, every year. He may have taken me behind the woodshed with the Hurts and McBride deal. However, I have taken him behind the woodshed in fantasy.
Yeah, that is true. At least when you traded him McBride, you traded him to him the week that he was on bye against you in your matchup, so that was good at least.
Yep.
Although I'm sure that was more lucky than you actually looking ahead and seeing that. But anyways,
you keep thinking that. You keep thinking that.
Okay, yeah, I will. I will still think that, even though you're trying to say you planned that out. Anyways,
to be fair,
good management, Slaps.
I'm quite happy to take Tucker Kraft back for McBride. Tucker Kraft looks great just now. So
easy to say after this week's game.
Yeah. To be
He's
fair, the
been
last
good.
few weeks he's been very good.
Yeah, he's been good. Yep. All right. So 6-2. You're got to be feeling very confident about your team.
Free win this week as well, 7-2.
Ooh, free win. Who do you play?
Ernie.
Oh, you get the lucky one. Wow. Yeah, the schedule has lined up pretty good for you, I will say. All right. Anybody else have any comments on this matchup? Kroenke's team. Anybody changing?
Two shitters.
Oh, battle of two shitters, okay. Anybody changing their tone on Slaps? Some people were wondering if maybe he was going to go on a losing streak. Anybody changing their mind about that?
I have something to say to you, buddy.
Use the schedule merchant.
I play you in the playoffs.
You hope you do or don't?
I do.
Oh. Okay.
I'll have a bye.
I just want to note that with Slaps' schedule, Ernie would be 6-2.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah.
Actually, with Slaps' schedule, not a single person would have a negative record. Everyone would be
Wow.
500 or
Wow.
higher.
Slaps comments on that?
Cheese, are you trying to justify that you also don't have a really, 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 really shit team and you're
Ooh.
6-2?
Whoa, my team is
Oh.
not shit. People disrespect
Oh.
my team, and when I drafted it, they
You're
disrespect my
like
team currently, and I'm
you're
6-2.
trying to
Wait,
shit on
but wait,
someone else's
Slaps.
team when your
Tell 'em-
team is also shit.
Slaps,
Yeah,
tell me
Josh
what I beat
Allen.
him this. Tell me
Josh
what I beat him this
Allen.
weekend.
Hold on, let me speak. We are both a prime example of how fantasy football is at least 50% luck.
My team
So-
is
I mean,
shit.
to be fair, Slaps would have beat you,
Slaps
Cheese.
would have beat Cheese this week. Just saying.
Wow.
Last
And
week,
a lot
you
of
know,
the
last
league.
week.
He would have beat a lot of the league.
I would have beat a lot of the league in most weeks. I've had very good scores most weeks.
Okay.
I'm looking at my schedule in the schedule analyzer. Every single person would have had a worse record than me with my schedule. I'm the only person who would have
Oh,
gone
here
6-2.
That
we
sounds
go.
like
Oh,
a that sounds like a
oh,
war
here we
type
go.
of thing
Wow.
for baseball. You use that.
Rat
schedule
would have been
analyzer.
1-7. Rat would have been 1-7.
Buddy, I'm winning out, so I don't
Okay.
care right now what the record is.
You forget that fantasy football and we are a prime example of how it is at least 50% luck.
I'm
You-
not,
you-
yes, I'm
me
not
and
denying
you-
that, but we're
Yeah,
so, my team.
I
is
think
a
the
bunch of
point
bums.
he's
So
trying to
why
make
are
though
you
is you've
trying
been a
to
little
shit?
lucky to be 6-2.
Sure, a little, but
Yeah. So why? Are you
I think
shitting on
realistically
me
we're
for being
more of a
6-2
5
as
and 3
well?
team. Because I think you're not. I think your team is worse.
You're like a
than that,
1 and
so.
17.
We're not 6-2 teams. So why don't you just stop shitting on somebody else who's also 6-2 with the same record?
Well,
as you?
all right, fine,
And
fine.
just-
We're
Wait, have
playing
you guys
next
played
week,
head to
so
head?
We're playing next week.
Oh, okay.
Wonderful.
All right.
I'll
Next
give
week.
the
All right.
merch back then.
Moving
Oh,
on
yeah, I get to
then.
play Hurts a second time.
Okay.
Great.
Moving on then to the next matchup, we saw Zach just move right along and pick up another win against Pook, 141 to 126. Once again, a little unfortunate for Pook. He puts up a decent scoreline this week, but runs into a better team that just scores more points. You know, if he would have scored this scoreline like last week, I believe he would have won. There was another week where he lost, I think, to Bill, like 90 to 90 some. So, you know, it's just not scoring high the weeks he needs
Dude.
to.
The 120s, that's a mid-score line.
It is.
120s
It's a mid
ain't-
score, but for Pook to be 1-7, my point is 126 would have beat a lot of people this week. So he's getting a little unlucky on who he's facing when he does score the big. There's been a lot of weeks where he hasn't scored a lot of points and has deserved to lose and has
Okay,
lost.
so he's a shit team.
But there's
The
also
best he
some
can
weeks
do
where
is a
he
mid-score
scored some
line.
higher points, is my point I'm making,
Yeah.
and then ran into the bad teams.
The
But
best
nonetheless,
he can do is a mid-score line.
yeah, okay. Nonetheless, he is 1-7, the dreaded 1-7. You know, I was trying, since I knew he wouldn't be at the show this again, I was trying to gauge in the chat today his level of confidence on when I said, why haven't you changed your team name to like one less win because you can't go 7-0 the next 6 weeks. And he said, what's the point, or what am I going to change it to? So it doesn't seem like he's got much hope anymore. And then, you know, to add Cam Scatabo, the one bright spot, or one of the few bright spots on Pook's team this year, one of the rookies that he drafted that worked out, gets a gruesome ankle injury and is done for the year. So that's a blow for his team. Breece Hall did look good finally for once with a big game against Cincinnati. So maybe if he continue to do this, maybe to pick up some of the slack. But overall, wide receivers for Pook, Diggs did just okay. Waddle had a nice game. Shakir finally got a touchdown and broke out with a nice game. His tight end didn't do bad. I mean, he got 10 from the Tennessee tight flex. I mean, really, everything overall was pretty solid. Like, you didn't have a huge stinker other than Dak, but you know, against the Denver defense, that's always going to be a tougher matchup for Dak, and they got behind early. So 6.2, that's kind of the difference in the matchup. If Dak has a 20-point game, it's a much closer. He still loses, but it's 140 type of performance. So it wasn't like everyone in his lineup shit the bed. It was really just Dak. On Zach's side, Zach started Joe Flacco, which was a great start for him this week. 24 big points. Jonathan Taylor just continues to be RB 1.5. I mean, what is he? He is RB1 and number one overall in fantasy. I mean, just look at these stat lines. 30 points, 23, 34, 37, 32. He's hit 30, almost 30 or more, 29.5, like 6 weeks. Just unbelievable for a second round pick to have this type of year that he has had.
Are
There
you
is a
talking
question
about my Jonathan Taylor?
What? Yeah, that's what I was just talking about.
I knew he was gonna have this type of year.
Okay.
Why do you think I wanted him so bad?
Okay.
Like I told you before, every night before I go to bed, I pray for his health and safety. I
Okay.
pray that his family's happy and
Okay.
he stays healthy.
There is one thing
He's
I
the
agree with.
fantasy god.
Your better than Henry for Taylor is definitely accurate. The second one I don't agree with. Also better than Henry, Bill.
Wow.
Yeah, Bill kind of
has
fell
been
off.
shitting the bed. Look at this,
Hey, it's just been a
5.8,
couple weeks.
4.2, 2.5. I mean, he's
Relax.
really only had one good week against the Chargers in Week 5. Other than
Relax.
that, he's been very bad. So he has not taken off. If he takes
Oh,
off,
okay.
I think he's the difference between you winning the league or not. So if you can start getting some good performances from him, you can win this league pretty handily. Jamar Chase and McConkey continue to do their thing. They look like a deadly two wide receiver combo. Kincaid had a bad game, but they blew Carolina out. Dobbs just did okay. Warren just did okay. But, when you're getting the 37 from Henry, you can overcome a bad RB2 game, especially when you're getting 20 plus from your top two receivers as well to throw in with a quarterback getting 20, and that's, how you're going to have a strong performance. You move to 6-2. So right there for that top spot, possibly the bye, your team's in a great position. Comments after your win over Pook?
What a great win. Didn't really test me. My team is performing well.
Mm-hmm.
As long as Taylor stays healthy, I like where I'm at.
Any concern at all that Taylor's peaking too early in the season?
Nope. He is in the MVP conversation. He should be the front runner of the MVP conversation just because he's a running back. People shouldn't discriminate for that.
I agree.
He'll keep this up. The Colts are looking great. Danny Pennies, or whoever the fuck the quarterback is, I think it is Danny Pennies.
Yep.
Doesn't matter.
Times.
Doesn't matter. Taylor, that offensive line is looking good, and Jamar has found a quarterback with old Joe.
Yeah, he has. That trade's worked well for some.
It's just the beginning for those two. I believe Chase has multiple 40-point games left in him.
Okay. All right. So anybody else have any comments on Pook or Zach or this matchup? Nope. All right. Moving on then to the next
Nobody
matchup.
wants to shit on my team.
Well,
Because they know
I
it's
think
not
everybody thinks your team's the one to definitely watch for. One of the
You got that
dangerous
right.
teams. Moving on to a matchup that had a lot of potential to be a highly shit-talked affair anytime Cheese and Rat play each other. However, Rat's team did not back up the potential shit-talkness as Cheese beats him soundly 120.12 to 92.58. Another week with Rat under 100 points. There's been quite a few of those this season for Rat, as his points for indicates. Now falls to 3-5, so it was kind of a big week for Rat. He could have got to 4-4, could have got right there. Instead, he falls to 3-5, and with his points for is kind of back, which we'll see in the standings here. Also, Nico with the concussion didn't play. CD just kind of did average, as Denver's a tougher matchup. Xavier Worthy did okay. JK did all right. Rico Dowdle shit the bed. And what did Chuba do? Also, Chuba did a little better, but still nowhere near. They both had single digits. Shocker, I believe I called that. Baker Mayfield. Everybody kind of hyped him up as being right there in that MVP race. In the last couple weeks, he has had some bad games. And this one was a get-right week against New Orleans. Only 4.8 points as the defense kind of took over that game and the game script got away. But still, rough game from him. Devontae Smith just did average. Zay Flowers just did average. Cade Otton didn't really do much on tight end week. He was a sneaky guy that maybe could have popped off for National Tight End Week. And all that equals a mid 92 points. On Cheese's side, he had a strong showing from Josh Allen, coming off a bye. McCaffrey.
92 points is bad. That is not mid.
Okay, bad. McCaffrey, and Rat even got fortunate this week that McCaffrey had one of his worst games of the season with only 9.8. First time all year in single digits and not in 20s. Not even in the
Get used to that.
20.
That's embarrassing.
And
Yeah,
Rat couldn't beat Cheese. Wait, Now, Rat has said a lot this year that Cheese's team is like two players, McCaffrey and Allen,
It's shit.
and he gets a horrible
It's shit. He got
performance from
lucky.
McCaffrey, and yet he
He got
still
lucky.
scores 120 and beats you
My
badly.
team will be back starting
I
next
also had a
week.
bagel.
We're a second half team.
Yeah, he also had a 0-point game from Jake Ferguson.
We're a
Woody
second
Marks
half
had
team.
another nice game, 15 points. Booty had a nice game, so he got a good amount from his flex spots that were a little shaky going into the week. Overall, very big win for Cheese as he joins that 6-2 club. Cheese, your comments after beating Rat.
Look, it wasn't our best week from our star players, but we
Yeah.
still put up 120.
Yeah.
So I'm tired of everyone saying we're shit. We're not shit.
I think this week put to bed that you're not just McCaffrey.
Like
and
I'm not
friends.
saying we're the best team. That's Zach, but like I think we're clearly a top 5
I
team.
respect your team,
Okay.
Cheese.
I think
Yeah.
we're clearly a top 5. I don't think we're shit. I locked up the playoffs basically.
Oh, here we go again
No.
with these early I wouldn't say that. You have not locked up the playoffs yet.
I'm playing Pook again.
Just be careful. I mean, just be careful with that. But anyways. All right, Rat, I mean, you can get into your comments that you made about the future, but comments on this matchup versus Cheese, where you didn't even put up a
Lucky.
fight.
Lucky.
Huh?
Lucky. She's got lucky.
Lucky?
How did I get lucky? What's lucky?
You say that
I've
every week
never-
about Cheese. How did he
I've
get
never
lucky?
seen so many 1-yard line Josh Allen touch pushes and Mike
It's in every
Hayden.
Wait.
I know you're not
Wait.
talking about touch
Yeah,
pushes
yeah,
when the
wait.
Eagles do 4
I
touch
know
pushes.
the Eagle fan is not complaining
But
about
But
tush
hold on.
pushes from
hold on.
Josh
Let's-
Allen.
Let's see how it was set up. There was a touch play, there was an interception, and a clear brought back. He brought it all the way back. But guess where he gets tackled? The 1-yard line. And Josh Allen gets a free 6 points. Oh yeah, what happened to Kate Otten?
And how many times do the Eagles tush push it 4 times on the 5-yard line of the goal line to get it all the way to the 1 and in?
Defense gets an interception and gets stopped literally at the 1-yard line.
The only
That was
thing
a
I'll say,
free point.
the only thing I'll say,
Brotherly
Rat got.
shoves. Brotherly
the
shovers.
And Kate Otten got cut by a touchdown
The
too.
only thing I'll
He
say
got
Rat
caught.
got maybe a little lucky on is my kicker had like 1,000,000 points.
That too. That was
with
annoying.
50 yards.
And-
But he's also
and-
like the number 2 kicker in fantasy.
Okay.
So.
And I got snaked by Kate Otten, not scored.
At some
They
point,
called
are
a
we going to
touchdown,
talk
that was a
about your
touchdown.
own players on your team instead of just all of
That's what I'm saying.
Cheese's?
Kate Otten got
Would we
scammed
like
of
to
a
talk
touchdown.
about Baker Mayfield against the Saints?
He would have had an extra point, but he got scammed.
So he would have had 10?
I don't know. I forget the math, but
Well, if
I
that's a
would.
touchdown, then around 10.
I
Would you
will
like
talk
to,
about my
your
future though.
your Knuckles
The-
and Sonic that you proclaimed 2 weeks ago?
Oh yeah, they're fine. Rico Dowdle's finally announced a starter, so he'll be back. Thank God. Chupa's out of there. Like they're gonna give Rico Dowdle the workload, so he'll be fine.
And your concussed Nico?
He's healthy. They already said
The
it.
Houston's offense looked way better without him.
They did. Stroud looks finally good. He hopefully
Oh,
But
but
he
I got
hasn't
lucky
looked
with
good.
Woody
he's away
Marks.
versus
You
the
retard.
Broncos. What?
Stroud looks good, but Woody
Shut up,
Marks is
Cheese.
lucky.
Yeah, he finally looks good. It took him a while.
Wow.
And yeah, I didn't have Nico, so that's lucky for Cheese. But yeah, we'll be back. We have Tyron Tracy too coming back, so that's good.
Tyron Tracy, we are not
Sounds-
scared.
This sounds like a lot of copium. A
How?
lot of copium.
I mean, one had
Okay.
Russell Wilson at quarterback, and one had Dart. So big difference.
Hmm.
But you'll see.
Okay.
Mark it on this show. I'm going undefeated the rest of the year.
You're putting it on the show right now. You
Yeah.
are going undefeated the rest of
Yes.
the year. All right. Well, we'll get your comments next week when you lose.
I'm not losing to poop. I
okay.
promise.
Well,
Okay. You better not, because if you mark that you're going undefeated the rest of the year and you lose right away next week to
Big
the 1
Rat
and 7
is
team.
entering the battle for last.
Whoa, wow. I think he's a little safe with that. But his points for is down there, where if he did lose to Pook, that cuts it to a 1-game lead, and then it gets a little hairy. But
2 games shit.
okay. All right, interesting. Anybody else
If
want
I
to make any
lose to
comments?
Pook, I might not be at the show.
Oh, okay. You're gonna pull
My
one of
pull
those.
is
Huh?
Akron 2 years ago.
Wow. Anybody else want to make any comments on this matchup or these teams? All right, moving on then to the next matchup. We saw this was a high-scoring affair. This was like the high-scoring close matchup of the week. And Zombie picks up a win over Anth, 153 to 143. This one went back and forth. It looked for a while like Anth was in the better position to win this. Then it flipped to Zombie. Then it came down to Sunday Night Football. And Mahomes just had to like outscore, do better than Rice, and Rice just kept getting all the targets, and then got a touchdown late in the game, and that just turned it completely to Zombie's way. So Zombie picks up the win, goes to 5-3, big win from him. Sends Anth to 4-4, so it was a big matchup because they had the same record. So one drops to the 4-4. You'd much rather be on the winning side and go to 5-3, which Zombie of course is. Zombie had a big game from Justin Herbert, 25 points. As we saw in the chat earlier, Zombie was kind of freaking out a little bit about us giving him shit for his Herbert trade. You know, Herbert is a good fantasy quarterback. That's not what I was saying earlier today. And trading for him is fine. It just didn't make any sense to me, the type of trade he did, considering how highly he was holding Zay Flowers weeks ago when Lamar was hurt. He was holding him at a higher value back then than what he is now. And the only reason I can think for that is because he loves his Chargers and loves his Justin Herbert. So he's willing to pay a higher price to get Herbert compared to Hurts. That's the only thing I can think of. Achin, though, had a nice game. Juggernaut Javante is a sneaky good fantasy player this year. He's very consistent. He's only had one game in single digits. He's been very good overall for Zombie, and he's a great RB too. You can count on him to get a good amount of points every week and not let you down. Obviously, the big news: Rashee Rice is coming back very strong.
Tear your ACL again, Rashee.
25 huge points once again. He just looks like the focal point center of the offense, who you know is always going to get a high target share and get the touchdown opportunities. Rome Odunze had a nice bounce back game with 7 catches for 114 yards, so big game from him. Tyler Warren just did okay. I was hoping he would pop off. He was the only guy I needed in my tight end touchdown parlay to hit, and he didn't get a touchdown, unfortunately. Zombie had to start Calvin Austin, which did mid, but on Ant's side it was washed away by Stevenson. Getting hurt, not doing mid. This tight end for the Chargers from Zombie, I don't know where the fuck this guy came from, but he has been popping off the last 2 weeks. 18 points to back up his huge week last week, and Folk had 11.5. On Ant's side, Mahomes, like I said, had another great game, but just was throwing way too much to Rashee Rice to offset it. James Cook had a monster game, so that's a good bounce back from him after a couple bad weeks. Got 2 touchdowns. Kamara just continues to look not good. Although DK, he didn't even start. Oh yeah, he did start DK. 16.5 for DK. So I guess that trade's not horrible for Ant, even though Breece Hall had a monster game this week compared to Kamara looking mid every week. At least he's gotten DK in back, which has been pretty good for him. Downs did alright. His tight end just did okay. Pittman had a monster game with 23 points, and Prater had 11. So, 2 good weeks, 2 high scores. I think both these teams are still obviously have a good chance of making the playoffs. Anth is a little bit more scary. I know a lot of us were talking last week when we made our playoff predictions that Anth might be one of the teams to fall. This loss kind of hurts because now it puts him right on that borderline. But he does have a good amount of points for, and scoring 143 will help your points for. So that's kind of the silver lining to it. But overall, he falls. Anybody want to make any comments on this matchup?
Zombie's team is really good.
Zombie's team is really good. Okay.
I do not want to be in the same side of the bracket as his team. I'll be honest.
Okay.
He did this with his first round pick on the bye.
Yep.
Yeah, it's scary. Because we gifted him Herbert after
You
I made a
gifted
big
him
show about
Javonte Williams.
okay, that's a little less.
If you're gonna say gift, because it's been pretty stupid.
Yeah, but we didn't know
saying...
Javonte was gonna be good. We didn't know Javonte.
Okay, but how did I gift him Herbert? I got Flowers for Pacheco.
Because all he needed was a QB to complete the team, and I thought we were on the brand.
No, and all of a sudden,
but he did pay.
Amazing
but hold
QB.
on.
Herbert's the same thing around golf.
He didn't get gifted a quarterback. He paid a price for the quarterback.
All right, but
my only thing is I think he could have got a better quarterback fantasy wise for Zay Flowers
Look,
weeks ago.
Mahomes is sucking off Rashee Rice. We need something to happen. We need another car
Another
crash or
accident.
something. Yeah.
Yep,
Okay, I don't
Zombies
think that's
team
coming.
is looking like
I don't
the
want to
best
be
team
in
out there.
this. I don't want to be in the same side of the bracket as
Yeah.
our team.
Maybe we get a zombie Zach final.
Maybe
That'd be
That
super
would be
toxic.
Ooh.
Would it though? I think Zach would just be. Zombie doesn't talk too much shit.
He would talk shit to me. We
Oh.
have a good amount of AIDS.
Zombie would probably just beat you.
Oh.
I'm hoping
okay.
for some injuries.
Wow.
All right. Yeah, we need an on-chain injury. I'm surprised he's held up. He had that injury to start the season, like preseason. He needs to like get injured.
Now,
I
even if
beat
Hampton comes
Zombie.
back,
I did beat Zombie though.
Vidal could get in the
Later.
mix, so that will be interesting.
Yeah, hopefully Hampton just takes his sweet ass time. And maybe Zombie's tight end falls off, hopefully, because he's I don't know where that guy came
I
from.
beat Zombie in week 6, 130 to 105.
Yeah, that was one of Zombie's bad weeks.
I also
All
beat
right.
Zombie.
And then moving on to
Wow.
the final matchup, there was two matchups this week that came down to the wire and barely won by 0.2. My matchup versus Ernie and Bill versus
Oh, Bill.
Tyler. The 3 tight end
We were
strat
so
has
close
a
to a
win
tie
finally as Bill gets a big win, 107.92 to 107.72.
Wait,
What?
did he start? He didn't start 3 tight ends. I just noticed that. His
Didn't? I
lineup
thought he
name,
did.
his lineup
You
name
know,
was
Oh.
wrong.
man.
This
Oh,
guy
he
lied.
Wow, he's a fraud.
Wow,
He
why is his
lied.
name this then?
Wow.
It's
Wait,
false
would he have won?
advertising. Never mind, the 3 tight end. Well, thank God I beat Ernie then. The
Wait, would
three
he have won?
The 3, huh?
Oh, you would have won. It wouldn't. You
The
would have
3
not. If he
tight
started
end
Henry,
strat is still winless.
if he started Henry, you would have won by like 3 points. He wouldn't have had to sweat.
Lol.
Well, Bill, this year his lineup decisions and management has not been the best, which I'm sure he'll have an issue with, but it's just a fact. He's made some interesting plays, including trading for Pacheco and giving up quite a bit for him and then just instantly dropping him a week later. I know he's banged up, but does that really mean you just drop him? Like, I don't know.
I feel like you have other players you can drop.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. I mean, it's Bill's,
Kyler Murray is useless. I'm sorry.
Bill's
Kyler
lineup,
Murray has
I
no
mean,
value.
it's not like it's
He
it's
does
full
have
of
an
tight
IR
ends
spot,
and
too.
quarterback. Like, why does he need 3 quarterbacks? Like, I know he dropped Tua earlier today, but it's like,
He turned down when I was needing a quarterback. I was trying to get a trade done with
Wait, here we go.
with
Let's
Bill,
hear it.
and he point blank refused to trade me one because he was trying to take me behind the woodshed. So he had a chance to make.
well,
I'm sure your
it's,
offers
it's
weren't that
clear
high.
what it's clear what Bill's strategy has been this way: hog up the quarterbacks, hog up the tight ends, and hope that people will trade a lot for him. I would say that that happened, but it didn't because
Who
you
the
gave
fuck would
Zombie
trade for tight ends?
You gave Zombie his favorite quarterback on his team, the Chargers, and you only got Pacheco back, which was a 1-week play that you needed, which almost didn't get you enough anyways to win. So it's like, what the hell are we doing? You got to use that Herbert against Zombie's Chargers for more if I'm Bill. Like, Zombie's team is the Chargers, so make them pay. But anyways, side rant there. Bill does get the win. Pacheco did just get enough. We were watching this in the party live, and we didn't
Very
think,
close to a
we
tie.
thought the penalty knocked off yards, but apparently he already had 58 yards before the penalty knocked off the yards. So we thought he lost because of the penalty, but he didn't. He pulled it out. Unlucky for Tyler, he falls to 5-3. Had a chance to get into that 6-2. This is one looking back that Tyler is going to wish he had to win because Bill's team has been struggling. And it struggled once again. I mean, 107 isn't that many points. He did start Jackson Dart. Bill did. He got 19. Derrick Henry had a nice game finally back. So if Bill's going to have any chance to make a run, it's going to lie on Henry's shoulders. I don't know. Who's his RB2 now moving forward now that fucking Pacheco's hurt?
Gibbs and Henry.
Oh, Gibbs. Yeah, he has Gibbs on bye. So, yeah, he'll have that back. Ibuka has kind of slowed down a little bit. That injury might have slowed his season a little. McMillan, though, continues to look pretty decent. He's kind of a little boomer bust, though. Some weeks he has the double-digit gains. Some weeks he has singles based on how Carolina does. Kittle finally had a nice game. Got into the end zone finally on tight end day. The Fannin guy also got into the end zone. And then he started Darnell Mooney, who just is shit, especially with Kirk Cousins. Yikes. I don't know what the thought process there.
Lol.
I know London was out, so I guess that's the thought process of he's the receiver. But on Tyler's side, Bill was picking up a lot of quarterbacks. You could tell Bill really wanted to get this win, and he saw that he had a chance because he was picking up so many quarterbacks to try to screw Tyler from getting a quarterback. And I guess it just gifted Tyler the right guy to start it, because then Tyler didn't have to make any decisions on who to pick up on waivers, because Stroud was, I guess, the only viable one left, and he had 21 points and looked good. Rachaad White continued to not look great. Aaron Jones, although he came back and got more carries than Jordan Mason, it was not a good game for the Vikings against the Chargers, and both running backs did shit. Wandell, not very great against that Eagles team. DJ Moore, just kind of mediocre, got banged up. Kelsey, though, had a nonsense game, which gave Tyler a chance for a while there on Monday Night Football with the 21 big points. Keenan Allen, okay. Olave did all right. But overall, kind of just mid on both sides this week, which shows the mid score line. But Bill gets the win to keep his season alive. If he would have fallen to 2-6 with his low points, it would have been basically all dust and dust. Then he would have just been battling versus Pook to avoid last. This win is massive because Pook loses, he wins, so he goes 2 clear of the last place spot. And now maybe he can just think about a playoff run, which he did make a run into the playoffs last year. So you never know. You never know what could happen. But I don't see the team on paper how it makes a run, but you never know. Anybody want to make any comments on these teams or this matchup?
Wow.
Bill might avoid last. I don't know.
Okay. Anybody have any concern for Tyler at all about
You would love to see
being a
Tyler in
team
the
slip?
playoffs.
Let me look at Tyler. Hold on. Let me look at Tyler's team. Hold on.
Pook is back next week, so.
I'm a little concerned with Tyler's team.
You would love to see Tyler in the playoffs. That's all I'm gonna say.
No, I'm not overly concerned.
So
Just a
is
little.
that you saying he's gonna make the playoffs, Zach? Or
He's gonna make the playoffs,
Okay.
but he's gonna be one of the shit.
I don't know. I don't like. I have 4 teams in my mind who are.
I
locked,
wouldn't mind
and everyone
facing
else,
Tyler
no
in
clue.
the first round.
Tyler's running backs are, well, Bucky's, I guess, on a bye. I didn't see his. I forgot about Bucky. Aaron Jones is definitely questionable. Walker, still think he's fine. It's just, I don't know. Seahawks are.
I don't think he's fine. They give Charbonnet every goal line.
I mean, yeah, but I don't know what's up with them. I think Keenan Allen.
And they're a passing team nowadays.
Keenan Allen's a real
question.
question because I think have the Chargers actually figured out their wide receiver 2/wide receiver 3.
Look at the current playoff.
Ladd's finally back into
He
being
will.
the wide receiver 1 for the Chargers. So it's between like Keenan Allen and QJ for the number 2. So we'll see if Allen.
Well, I think Keenan Allen's the number 2, but I just
Yeah.
some games he's gonna have lesser points because
But
it's
Puka being back,
with
is
especially
gonna
this tight end. This tight end
fine.
steals a lot of his points.
be, yeah.
Yeah, he does have
and-
Puka, which is always going to get you a lot of points. So that is the one benefit. He'll have that coming back, and I think that is probably good enough to get him into the playoffs at least.
Yeah.
So looking at the standings then after this week, as you said, we have 3 teams at the top. The standings are really taking shape now. There was a few weeks there where we had like a shit ton of teams all with like the tied for the best record. That's no more. It's kind of spread out a little bit. Zach in the top of the standings based on points at a 6-2 mark. However, Cheese is only about 65 points behind him. So not a ton at 6-2 as well. Then we have Slaps kind of down there a little bit more with only 982 points for, but 6-2, so in a strong position. Then we have 2 teams at 5-3, Zombie and Tyler. Tyler's points for is much lower than Zombie's, and actually Zombie has the highest points for. So if he can get a win next week and all the 6-2s fall, he would jump that top spot. Then we have the 2 4-4 teams currently in the playoffs at the moment, so it's looking more like 7-7 because the 4-4s are both in the playoffs. Cronky and Anth in that final spot. One thing to note for the 3-5 teams, myself, Bill, and Rat, the 2 teams that we're trying to catch right now, the 4-4s, they have pretty high points for. It's not like it's Slaps and Tyler. If it was Slaps and Tyler at 4-4, these 3-5 teams would basically just be a game back because our points for would be pretty close. But Cronky has a pretty high points for. He's got about 110 10 more than me and way more than Bill and Rad as they're in the 800s. So it's going to be tough. You're going to have the 4 and 4s lose, go on a little losing streak, and the 3 and 5s go on a winning streak if they're going to leapfrog those two teams. Or maybe Tyler or Slap starts to fall on a losing streak. Other than that, they're going to have to score a lot of points in their wins to make up this ground because we are behind on the points for race. Then we have Ernie in the 11th spot at 2 and 6. I don't want to say Ernie's in a battle for last place because he's got a pretty high amount of points for compared to Pook, about 110 more, 112 more. But just by record alone, he's only a game ahead of Pook, so that has to be a little worrisome. You know, it would be kind of funny to see Ernie get last place and see what happens with this punishment because, you know, he doesn't ever join parties anymore. He's kind of MIA for a lot of the week. It would be funny to see him have to do the chip. I wonder if he would do the chip or if he'd pay. I don't know. It'd be kind of interesting to see. And then we have Pook, obviously in the rear at 1 and 7, just fighting to somehow jump somebody out of last place. So looking then at the playoffs, like we said, 1 through 7, Anth would have the final spot in there. I know we went over our whole playoffs last week, so we're not going to do that again, but let's just one name out of these top 7 that you think is falling. If, let's say, Rad is right and he goes on this magical winless run, or I somehow jump in, or Bill somehow jumps in, who is the person that you could see falling out at the moment? Zach, you said Tyler?
Tyler.
Okay. Wow, 2 Tylers?
I like Anth's team. I don't know. Yeah.
Tyler or Anth. Tyler or Anth.
Tyler or Anth.
Wow. This is a tough one.
Then Pusa. Fuck Pusa.
I think Anth.
You know, I'm going to say Pusa. I think his team, I think his team on paper looks really good, but I don't know. I got a weird feeling. He just traded away Hurts, so he downgraded
to Seattle.
He downgraded at quarterback quite a bit. His RB2 and Mason fell off. I know he's got Chase Brown now, but he had to suffer his quarterback because I know he believes highly in Indiana Jones.
I think Ant's team is just because Kamara's kind of shit. Downs is like mid. Juwan Johnson's mid.
Okay.
I think
the Patriots are trading for a running back.
Besides the big dog, I think Anth has like a better all-around team than Tyler.
I don't know.
Okay.
I think the best.
No, you know what? To be fair, I forgot about.
Bill just put some words in the chat.
Actually, you know what?
To be live in Discord or something.
You know what? I'm gonna lean Pusa.
Look at those words, Golfer.
I forgot about Drake London and Laporta. I'm gonna lean Pusa. I think just because I hate Cooper Kupp and JMO. So, like, my flex is better than that.
Okay, I don't know what these words really mean, but all right.
See what the current matchups would be if the playoffs started today.
Click the bracket.
Well, obviously, you would have a bye. You would face the winner
you're
of Zombie versus Tyler.
I like that.
You would have to play Zombie.
It's an easier bracket.
Shit, I don't want that bye.
I like that top of the bracket. Let's keep it that way. I'll take the bottom half.
Yeah, that would be.
I
that is
want the
favorable
bottom
for
Keep it
you.
this way. What position I'm in? Second. I'm gonna finish in second.
Okay.
Get me out of that half of the bracket, please.
But Zombie could. Zombie
Slaps
could be
past
jumping
the
up
finals
into that
if it's
top
like
half
that.
based on his points for. If he just
I like
has a couple
Slaps'
to lose.
side. Slaps could make the finals if that.
See, the problem, Cheese, with you just hoping for second is as soon as one of you 6 and 2s lose, like let's say Slaps loses next week, and then Zombie wins, his points for is so much higher. So he's now going to jump to the 3rd spot and be in the same side as you.
Yeah.
It's highly unlikely Zombie stays in the top half unless he loses and doesn't win games. All right, so there we have that. Looking really quickly here at the transactions for this past week. There was 2 trades made after the show last week. First, a trade between me and Cheese that now doesn't look as great for me, of course. I gave up Swift and Monagle, the Bears running backs, for Scary Terry, who was coming back. He did play this week and got me enough points for the win, but as we mentioned on that last catch, apparently re-injured his quad and is already listed as out for this upcoming week. Typical, a guy I trade for instantly gets hurt shortly after I trade for him.
He was already hurt.
He wasn't hurt. He was back healthy. He played this week.
Obviously not.
Well, he was at least Harvey looked good, so I got to just hold on to hope that he continues to get better and better and take more away from JK and get touchdowns. On the second trade, that we saw a huge trade go down. As we said, Slaps gets Hurts back. He also gets Jonnu Smith, Kendrick. I don't know why there needed to be so many players in this fucking trade.
I want
but
to ask Slap
there was.
something.
Jonnu Smith, Kendrick Bourne, Hurts, Theo Johnson, and Keon Coleman for Cooper Kupp, Hawkinson, Fields, and Chase Brown. So as I said yesterday, this trade is really just Jalen Hurts, Kendrick Bourne.
I didn't even say Kendrick Bourne.
I mean, Kendrick Bourne's a decent starter if Pearsall's still out.
Yeah.
And for Cooper Kupp and Chase Brown is basically what this trade is.
Did you try to get Jordan Mason instead of these like three guys? You should have like. Did you try Slaps or what? Like, why did you care about Jonnu Smith, Theo Johnson?
We were negotiating for like 2 or 3 hours.
Oh, we know.
He
had a trade
point blank refused to give me Jordan Mason. Point blank.
Why? He sucks.
I mean, Kroenke probably just doesn't want to trade him low.
Aaron Jones isn't good either, so we'll see what
he's
happens
like
with that.
that. Eventually,
I don't
you
think
know, he
his
gets
value
back.
goes up to where it was.
Well, he's gonna hope for that. I mean,
I could see it going up a little bit, but
there's
has
nothing worse
decent
than
leagues.
after he
he had
has
a
one
1
bad
point, but-
week where Aaron Jones comes back in a game that was bad. It's not like Aaron Jones popped off.
Yeah, that's
They
what
both
I'm saying.
did
I
shit.
think Mason can
So
won't just sell him after 1 point. Just because he had 1 point doesn't mean he's going to do that every week now.
yeah, I think you just gotta hold there and hope in the next couple weeks he looks a little better, and then maybe you could look to sell him if you really wanted to. Overall, though, I think this trade's kind of just. I mean, I like that. I like that Slaps gets Hurts back. He needs a quarterback. So I like it a little more from Slaps' end than I do Kroenke's. Although Kroenke does get a running back that he kind of needs now that Mason. But to the point that Rat's making, if you don't like Jordan Mason, where you feel like you need to get this running back in Chase Brown after one good week that Chase Brown has against a bad team in the Jets.
Not too good.
I mean, I don't know
Decent
if I'm
figure.
sitting there saying, okay, I don't want to trade away Mason, but I want to trade for Brown, and I want to give up my quarterback where now I'm going to have quarterback potential issues, although he does have Daniel Jones, which I know he probably doesn't do this trade unless he believes in Daniel Jones moving forward. But just remember, Daniel Jones was just a year ago of being horrible. So it's not like it's just a surefire thing. He's going to continue to just be good for fantasy, especially with Jonathan Taylor. They are definitely a running team first. I don't know. I don't see you winning a championship in fantasy with Daniel Jones as your quarterback. I just can't see it. Maybe I'm wrong. Anybody else have any comments? Slaps, your comments on this trade? I know you were saying sell high on Chase Brown.
Hell high.
Yep.
I mean, you're right. He played against the Jets and scored 25 points, but we could go back and look at his points from the last 8 weeks, and he's been dog shit. So
yeah,
I
will give you credit, Slaps. This is the first time all year with a trade that you didn't sell low and you sold high, and you didn't hold him because he had a good game. You used the one huge week, sold high, and got your quarterback back that you needed. So I'll give you credit on that.
Fake red DM.
Yeah, and especially with both of my running backs now off their bye weeks.
Yep. All right, fair enough. All right, and then what was that? Someone say something?
No.
Okay. And then looking at waivers for this past week, obviously it is continuing to dry up every week, and it just looks. Some of these dollar amounts, they wouldn't happen earlier in the year, but they do now because it's like, fuck it, what's the money? Michael Carter for $20 from Ernie. He was cut, then he was re-signed back to the team. I don't know. I don't really have much to say on that. Pook gets Emmanuel Wilson. Obviously had to drop Cam Scatterbo. Kroenke picks up Christian Kirk for $10. He's trying to hype that up earlier. I don't see it. I had him on my team the whole year. He was either hurt or when he did play was not good. And there's a bunch of receivers for Houston. Higgins, the other wide receiver for Houston, goes to Zach. Zach drops his boy Joe Flacco. 1 week service, huh, Zach?
Bye,
That's
Joe.
all.
Thanks for
That's
the
all he
win.
needed,
Thanks
and
for
he
the
got
win,
you what
Joe.
he got you what you needed for that 1 week.
I'll remember you later in the season, Joe. Thanks.
Okay. Rashad Bateman also for Kroenke. Zach gets Malik Washington, Xavier Hutchinson as well. So Zach
I
making
bid
a lot
over
of moves
slaps. I bid over slaps for him, I think.
here. Yeah.
Slaps?
Yeah, by a
Yep.
dollar.
Yep. I knew you would bid for him, slaps.
Okay.
Your moves are predictable, buddy.
Are we
Are
really
they?
shit talking for Malik Washington? All right.
He's a
Then
high
the
player.
third. So you got what? You're going with 2 Houston wide receivers, Xavier
Hey,
Hutchinson
one of them
and
is
Higgins.
bound. One of them is bound to
Be
get
the
some
new
more
Nico?
carries. Yeah, be the new Nico. Really,
Okay.
Nico sucks.
And then Zombie gets a kicker. Cheese gets a kicker as well. Bill picks up Devin Singletary. I don't absolutely hate that, just in case fucking Tracy shits the bed. Tyler picks up Tank Bigsby, and Bill picks up Ollie Gordon and drops Pacheco. That's the one I didn't understand. I understand Pacheco's out a few weeks, but it's like Ollie Gordon, like the only thing with him is I guess you're hoping Oddchain gets hurt, but why wouldn't you just hold Pacheco at that rate? It's like, what's the point of trading what you traded if you're just gonna drop him as soon as he got hurt this week? It's not out for the year. Like, I don't get it. All right, so that was waivers. Looking really quickly at our player props for this past week. We did have 4 losses, so not very close to hitting. Cheese finally lost one with Jake Ferguson, 25 yards. I guess if you're not doing McCaffrey, you're getting a loss. Cheese.
I got a win on Myers. I've gotten some wins on Jacoby Myers.
Okay, well, you didn't get the win on Ferguson. He got 0 yards.
I did not. He
25.
got blanked on tight end
Yeah.
day, so.
Pook picked Bijan, which I thought was going to easily hit because he was playing Miami, and the Falcons just dropped a complete shit egg, and Bijan did nothing. So that was tough. I hit with Evan Ingram and hit the only touchdown play of the week with James Cook. Bill did hit his Pacheco with 40 yards, so good job, Bill, for hitting the prop.
And then I sold him.
And then you just dropped him because he's banged up. Rat gets Kate out in play. So me and Rat picked the correct tight ends for the week with the yards there. Ernie did not pick the right tight end with Dalton Schultz getting 5.5 receptions. He only got like 2, so rough for Ernie. Ernie still tied for the worst record on these props with Pook at 3-5, and it was his idea for this. Jamar Chase, 7.5 receptions, hit for Zach. That was easy. Chase
Easy
Brown, over 50 yards as well, hit. So credit to Slaps and Pusa. They are both 7-1 on the season in this. So great job. Keep up the good picks, Slaps and Kroenke. Eventually, the rest of us 1 week will get our act together and we'll hit one of these. And then Jamar Chase also with 65 yards for Kroenke. And Zombie lost his second loss of the season with Dak Prescott. I did not understand that play at all from Zombie
Wow,
against the
proves
Denver
to pick my
defense.
Chase.
Yeah, he wanted to do receptions, but I told him that
So-
you already had it. So
Slaps. Which one of these is unreasonable here?
What? Which?
Which one?
Uh,
Which one do
let
you
me
think
look.
is you were talking shit on earlier?
Well, yeah. I mean, as Golfer said, the Dalton Schultz one is ridiculous.
Where is it? Who did that?
Ernie. I mean, I don't know if it's ridiculous just
and to be
because
fair,
Nico was out, but
Bijan
he
over
coulda dumped it down.
95 rushing yards is a bit risky.
against the Dolphins, they're
Buddy,
the
it's
worst
gambling.
It's a
Everything's
risky
risky. What do
play,
you
though.
mean? Come on.
I feel like when he says risky, the only reason these are risky is because you could have easily took Bijan 80 yards, which it still wouldn't have hit, but it's let's say, and you still could have took Dalton Schultz 4 receptions and dumbed it down. I think that's the thing that
They don't have to.
everybody is dumbing them down because the objective in this is to just hit your play, not give a
Exactly.
good value play.
I think people go over and above to do like some ridiculous play. rather
Just
than
put a damn play in and worry about yourself. One of these is gonna hit.
All right,
Look,
Zach,
you're only
hop
just
off.
a couple off.
Hop off of Ernie's cock.
Anyway, I will be putting in the rule changes for next year that this is
Oh.
not happening again.
Oh, that's fucked.
All
That
right.
is
Well,
fucked.
we'll
You
have
just
a
don't wanna
heated
pay the
debate
20
on that
bucks.
because There will be some changes to this. Either we will scrap it completely, if that's what the league votes, or
Yes.
there will be some amendments and some changes, I think, where I could see maybe that passing of after a certain point in the season, whoever doesn't have a winning record in this, they're out of the pick. That's a change I'm in favor for if we keep this, but we'll talk about that next year. All right,
Or maybe you
looking.
just, do 3 separate bets with the worst 4 people, they're in a group. The next 4 people, they're in like a mid tier, and you parlay their bets together in 3 different bets instead of just doing one big bet.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll discuss that in the off season. All right. Looking ahead to the Week 9 matchups, starting at the top, my matchup.
Can we do ours first? Me and Ernie, please. So I
Okay.
can then.
You want to do you and Ernie first, okay? Where is you and Ernie at?
Second.
All right. This one. It's going to be hard to talk about this one because Ernie's got some lineup issues that he's got to resolve, as he's got injured players, he's got bye players. Holy shit. Slaps obviously projected to win hugely. Ernie's got Drake May against Atlanta. Then he's got David Montgomery back from bye against Minnesota. Does he have a second running back at the moment? Judkins and Barkley both on bye. I guess Michael Carter against Dallas is who he'll be starting unless he makes a trade or something. T. Higgins against Chicago. Quentin Johnson after his goose egg against Tennessee. Better matchup there. We'll see if he can bounce back. Dalton Schultz against Denver. Rough. Kyle Pitts against New England. And D. Thornton against Jacksonville, and Aubrey on Monday night against Arizona. Obviously, he's got Judkins on bye, Barkley on bye, Lazard, A.J. Brown on bye, Garrett Wilson on bye, and Njoku on bye. So he only has one healthy body on the bench in Thornton against Buffalo. So he's going with the other Thornton for the Raiders. Oh boy. On Slaps' side, Trevor Lawrence against the Raiders, Josh Jacobs against Carolina, Kyron Williams against the Saints. Good running back matchups there for both Jacobs and Kyron. Adams against the Saints as well. Debo against Seattle. No McLaurin this week on Sunday night, so maybe that helps Debo get some points. Kraft against Carolina is good. Keon Coleman in there against the Chiefs. I don't know about that. Jawan Jennings against the Giants, and Chris Boswell against the Colts. Obviously, he has newly acquired Hurts on bye. And then he does have Kendrick Bourne against the Giants, which I would think maybe you're going to put in there for. Oh, I guess you have Jennings too. Wait, so you have Jennings and Bourne now?
I do, yes.
I don't know about that. I mean, who do you? Oh, so wait, who is your fourth flex? It's
Who's my
Keon Coleman.
Fourth flex.
It's Keon Coleman. You don't
Need
really
to
have.
work on that one.
Oof. Okay. Yeah, I guess that's the price you pay when you get Hurts.
To be
All
honest
right.
with you, I'm actually
Obviously,
genuinely contemplating Matt Collins.
Okay.
That's.
I'm gonna take you, even though you do have a little question mark there in that final flex. Even though Hurts is on bye, I think this was the week to trade for Hurts on bye because you're 6-2 and you're facing Ernie's team, which literally, after the first 3 players, Drake May, Montgomery, and Higgins, the rest is just a giant question mark on what they're gonna do. Michael Carter could get a goose egg. I don't even know if he's going to get the snaps this week or what's going to happen with that. This is a good matchup against Dallas. If he does play, he could be decent, but I don't know how much he's going to play, if he's going to play at all. Slaps will win this pretty easily and go to 7-2. Cheese. Who's winning?
Ernie's not setting the record, but he'll get
Okay.
close. He'll
Okay.
get close. Ernie, I think you trade offer.
Hmm.
To get you some help this
Yeah,
week.
he does love people to send him trade offers because he never sends them himself.
Slaps' team is gonna win. I think it'll be like a lower score, like
Okay.
120s, 110s.
Okay.
Debo looking good though. Terry's fucked again. Unless Debo's still hurt, I don't know.
No, Debo practice field today.
He's back.
I mean,
Jacobs
he played this past week. Did fuck off.
Jacobs looked kind of shit last week. And he's hurt kind of, so I don't know about that, but going forward, but Slaps has his on lock.
Okay. Rat.
Slaps.
Slaps. Okay.
A good amount.
Okay. Who am I missing? Zach?
Who's playing?
Slaps versus Ernie.
Oh,
And Ernie has some
by
major goals.
Mageddon. Could be a tie. Ernie could, pull one out.
Okay. Like
Ernie might be
a 70 to 70 tie, or
Yeah, something like that.
Ernie might be
tie's
more
a
unlucky
tie.
than Pook. I'm gonna say it.
yeah.
Although he could, pull it out outright.
Okay. All right. Slaps. I'm assuming you're going to pick yourself in this.
Woodshed.
Woodshed. Okay. Wow. What is your definition of woodshed? By how many points?
At least 40.
Oh, by 40. Okay. Really? You think your lineup this week has that potential to do that?
Yes.
Really?
Kyron and Josh Jacobs could go
160
each.
slaps? Come on.
Yeah, if you're gonna win, but come on now.
Jacobs and Kyron could put up 40 together. I mean, I just beat Pusa by 40, so.
Okay. All right. Interesting. All right. Moving on then back to my matchup with Kroenke. We had, as I said, Kroenke projected to win right now, 140 to 121. So a big number for
140, Jesus.
Sleeper. Yeah, I think, as you were mentioning, I think some of his things are a little inflated. Like Jameson Williams, I think he should be
JMO
a
at
little
11 is
lower.
unbelievably high.
I mean, he's got Cooper Kupp still at 11 as well. JSN at 23 obviously is a norm. I don't know about McBride, a little high, and Chase Brown, he had one good week and they bump him up to 13. I don't know about that. Anyways, I don't care too much about the projections. Obviously, Kroenke is the favorite though with the lineup that he's got. He's got Daniel Jones against Pittsburgh. Pretty good matchup for him there as Pittsburgh's defense has looked awful. Chase Brown against Chicago. Chicago's kind of a gritty team. They play a little bit harder this year than last year. We'll see how that Bengals offensive line does against Chicago. I could see a coming back down to earth party, hopefully for Chase Brown, for my sake. Bijan against New England. That does scare me how bad Bijan did last week. He's just due for another bounce back, typical Bijan performance. Although the Patriots are scrappy, but they do give up some points, so that worries me. Jameson Williams against Minnesota. He's either going to have 0 points or he's going to have 20. Jefferson against Detroit as well. McBride on Monday Night Football against the Cowboys. That worries me a lot as Dallas is god awful and McBride is the focal point of that offense. I'm going to need somehow for it to be a Marv night against the shitty Cowboys pass defense instead of McBride, but they're probably both going to have good games. Cooper Kupp on Sunday night against Washington. JSN on Sunday night against Washington as well. This is why this trade is so weird for me because
I will counter if they're right.
he has both Seattle wide receivers. Like I get it, they're a good passing team, but you really want them both.
Kupp's been ass.
Yeah, he hasn't been good, and now you got them both. Like I don't understand that. And Dicker against Tennessee. On my side, I got Jordan Love against Carolina, sitting Bo this week against the Houston defense, who has a decent pass rush. We'll go with Love against Carolina, who Love just had a big week last week with 28 points. Vidal against Tennessee, I like that spot a lot for him after his big game last week. Genti coming off bye against Jacksonville. I'm going to need him to have a monster week if I'm going to have a chance to win. Marv on Monday night against Dallas, so we both have Monday night players, as I mentioned. Hopefully it's a big game for him against the Cowboys. Shit defense. Pickens as well on Monday night against Arizona. Hopefully it's a shootout game. At the moment, we've got Mark Andrews in there against Miami. Miami's not great against tight ends, and Lamar is back. So hopefully he can have a decent amount of points. Just hoping for 10 points. Rashid Shaheed in there against the Rams at the moment due to Scary Terry out. And then Brian Thomas Jr. coming back off bye against the Raiders. Decent matchup there as the Raiders stink. And Bucker against Buffalo. Overall, I am going to take myself. It does look a little grim with some of Kroenke's players he has this week, but I like some of my matchups. I like my wide receivers on Monday night. If we can just get it to Monday night with a chance, I think I can pull it out. I'm going to need some of his players to obviously not have great games. But the two Seattle wide receivers doesn't scare me. I mean, JSN could put up 25, but if Kupp just scores single digits, that's kind of a wash. So I'll be happy with that. So I'm going to take myself in a close game, similar to like last week, 115 to 112, close on Monday Night Football, but my wide receivers come through for me. Cheese, who's winning?
Uh,
I would love nothing more to win this game, because then I'd be tied in record with Kroenke with our bet, and it kind of sent Kroenke a little downhill. So
I'm
hopefully
gonna
I can
lean
pull this
Pusa, but
Okay.
I think it's gonna be a lot closer than the projection says.
out.
But
Okay.
I am rooting for Golfer because of my bet with Pusa.
Thank you. Yeah, everybody should be rooting for me, just like we were all rooting for Slaps last week.
I think if Marv has a good game and Vidal has his last hurrah before everyone gets healthy,
Mhm.
it'll be good. But
Okay.
I think Pusa has the advantage.
All right. Rat.
Matchups I like for you. The two wide receiver strat is interesting. I probably would I don't know about Pusa, but hopefully Pearsall's healthy for him. I would even put him
He's not
Bateman over
practicing.
Cup. I just never. But Bijan after a shit week, that's pretty scary because
It is.
now he's not getting another slot. I know we talked about Chase Brown on the high, but Chicago's pretty bad at stopping the run, so he could have another good game. It's going to be pretty close. I think it's going to come down to that Monday night game, and sadly, I think Trey McBride is going to get fed more than Marv again. So,
Okay.
a 5-point win.
All right. Slaps.
Yeah, I think Bijan and McBride are gonna do it for Pusa.
All right. Zach.
Well, I don't see Pusa winning his matchup unless he accepts this three-way that we have going with
Terrible fun.
me, him, and Fake Rat.
No.
Which we are very close.
No, we're not. After what you just said.
Okay.
We're very
Uh,
close. We're just a couple counters away.
No, we're
so I'll be
not.
waiting
That
for
is
that
not.
counter.
Counters. What an interesting thing.
There's no,
Counters.
there's no counter.
I
after that.
countered.
I
You
have
can
no
counter
answer
the
to that.
counter.
Zach countering. I wish I could get a counter from Zach earlier.
We
Counter
were
that
close.
three-way.
We were close.
I don't know how we were close when you didn't counter.
Not you, buddy. Not you.
No, that's
We're
what
not
I'm
close.
saying. Counter and what an interesting thing.
Fake Rat, it's your turn to counter.
We're not.
Shut him
close.
down, Rat. Shut him down.
Yeah, we're not even close.
Do what
It's
he
not
did
even.
earlier.
It's
Tell him his
terrible.
whole team shit and you don't want any.
Do we really want to lay out this
Yeah.
offer? This whole.
All right, so who's winning? Zach?
Reply with something smaller.
Who's winning, Zach? Tie.
Golfer at the moment, unless Pusa accepts
Okay.
the deal
Okay.
that me and Fake Rat amend.
All
Right,
right.
lads, I'm gonna call it a day.
All right.
Have a
Did you
good
want
one.
to say real quickly who wins between Zach and Cheese, Pook and Rat, and Anth and Bill?
Yeah, I will. Zach beats. No, that Zach and Cheese game is a tie.
Wow.
Okay.
We've got Fake Rat versus Pook. That's gonna be a tie.
Oh.
Tie.
Okay.
What?
Um,
What?
Anth versus Bill, funnily enough, is going to be a tie.
So
Three
all
ties.
three ties. All right. Thank you,
Wow.
Zach. Have a nice night.
Slaps, not
All
Zach.
right. Cheese, you missed the joke, buddy.
Nope.
Okay.
Zach only protects ties for his friends.
Oh wait, Tyler and Zombie. You forgot one.
Actually, no, legit though. We're gonna go tie with the Zach matchup.
He's serious. He's
Fake-
serious. I like
fake
it.
We
Rats.
know why you want that
Fake.
tie.
Fake Rat has beaten Pook.
Good call out.
Anth has beaten Bill. And Zombie's beaten Tyler.
All right. Thank you very much. All right. Looking at that Zach versus Cheese matchup, it is a big one. Both teams at 6-2. Probably one of the biggest matchups of the year so far. There's obviously a lot of history here as well, where we all know at the start of the season that UCL ball draw, where Zach
Hey.
picked the number one pick instead of Cheese getting it. Although it worked out all right for Cheese because he got Christian McCaffrey, who's been good except for last week. Right now, Sleeper projecting Zach to pull out a win, 136 to 124. However, I think the matchup could be closer than what Sleeper's on. But Zach does have Lemar back from the grave on Thursday night.
Welcome
Welcome back. Welcome back.
Tomorrow night,
Let's hope this is not a Terry resurgence.
Wow.
Gets hurt. Wow. Yeah.
You know, after what happened today for Terry, I might be rooting for that.
Wow.
Against Miami, just a great matchup for Lamar to come back and return to. We'll see how it goes. I'm sure it'll go good. Jonathan Taylor against Pittsburgh. Obviously, that could be another 30-point game as
Fancy goat.
Pittsburgh's defense is horrible and Jonathan Taylor is on a high. Bill, Sunday night against Seattle. Seattle's defense is very good. I expect another single-point game from Bill, unless he can get into the end zone. I'm sorry, I'm just being honest. He's been not very good. Washington has
He will
not been
prove
good.
you wrong. He
And
will prove
Seattle's
you wrong.
defense is good. Jamar Chase against Chicago. That could be a very good game for Jamar. Lad McConkey against Tennessee. Very good matchup as well. You just got to worry that LA doesn't blow them out so quickly. Kincaid against Kansas City. Big game, Bills versus Chiefs. I expect Kincaid to have a good role in that game, as that game should go back and forth and be a tight, high-scoring affair as they normally are. Romeo Doubs against Carolina could be very good. Jalen Warren against the Colts. Colts defense is sneaky. Warren kind of coming off a mid-game, but he needs to be a focal point of that offense if the Pittsburgh has any chance to win. And Zach also has the new Justin Tucker tomorrow night
Let's
as well
go.
against Miami. On Cheese's side, Josh Allen against Kansas City. As we talked about, that game has potential to be a back-and-forth shootout style like it normally is when those two teams play. I expect Josh Allen to have a good game. Christian McCaffrey looking for a bounce-back game, and he gets to play the Giants. Pretty good spot for that after what Barkley just did to him last week. Expect a similar result for McCaffrey. DeAndre Swift against Cincinnati, very good matchup as well for him, since he can't stop a soul and just gave up a ton of points to Breece Hall. Addison against Detroit. If Minnesota wants any chance, they're going to have to use both receivers, Jefferson and Addison. J.J. McCarthy is slated to be back, so we'll see how that affects him. Cortland Sutton against Houston. Jake Ferguson on Monday night, so there is a Monday night player. Looking for a bounce-back game. I expect he gets it against Arizona. Arizona is okay on defense, but after a 0-point performance, I'm sure they'll get him more involved. Bam Knight on Monday night as well, so Cheese has two Monday night players against Dallas. I like that start considering how Dallas's defense is. Woody Marks against Denver. We'll see how he does against a tougher defense. And then the New England kicker against Atlanta. I think this, like I said, will be closer than Sleeper projects. I do like some of Cheese's matchups, especially his Monday night guys. And I like Josh Allen a lot this week. And I like McCaffrey a lot this week.
I might swap out Sutton for Booty. I don't know.
Oh well, then never
Something.
mind. If you're
That's a
gonna do
maybe.
that,
That's a
I'm
maybe.
picking Zach. I don't know why you would consider. Why wouldn't you consider
Did
taking
you
out
just
Woody
say
Marks?
Sutton for
Yeah.
Booty?
What?
Right. You
Texans
treat
defense is
Sutton like a
legit.
top. If he's a top 10 wide receiver,
Let
in your
Yeah,
lineup,
he should
every
never
week.
be out of your
Let
lineup.
him
What?
Are you good,
do what
Cheese?
you want.
What?
Or Booty for
I've
somebody.
heard-
I don't know.
All right, I'm
Booty
gonna take
is-
Zach just
Take
off
Zach.
of those
I'm
statements
thinking Zach
because
too.
Cheese is not confident in his.
For the
lineup.
last 8 shows
Okay.
we've been here, you have to
Relax.
Although I
Relax.
don't like Bill,
Bill's
and
ass.
I think there's a
Wow.
couple potential
go
players
next.
that could be lower scores for Zach.
I want to
I
go.
think between
Uh,
Lamar, Jonathan Taylor, Chase, and McConkey, I think those Jackson 4 alone will be good enough. And Cheese is questioning his lineup, so that should tell you everything. But Cheese, if he can get a huge game from Allen and his running backs both have really strong games, that could be the difference. But I'm going to take Zach. Rat.
I didn't just come in this show for the last 8 weeks to hear Cortland Sutton is a top 10 wide receiver just to take him out of your lineup
Yeah.
for Kendrick Booty.
He's
That is
in
the
there.
stupidest thing I've heard. No shot. There's no shot. Wait.
Well, the only stupider thing would be
Don't
to
listen to
actually
him,
do it.
Cheese.
Um.
Listen to him.
Yeah, I don't like Cheese's team at all this week. I mean, I never did. So
Yeah, I mean,
don't
you
know.
don't like his Cheese.
I
Never
just-
too
Never
many
did.
weeks.
I think Zach has a better team, and it will be proven.
Okay.
Zach wins by 20.
Okay. Interesting. Right. Cheese.
I'm taking myself. McCaffrey bounced back against my shit Giants. Swift's gonna have a good game. Bears are gonna want revenge. A lot of my players are looking for bounce backs from last week. So,
Okay.
and that Josh Allen, I don't know why they haven't flexed that game to the Sunday night game. What's the Sunday night game?
I don't know.
Seattle,
People-
Washington.
Yeah.
You tell me
Relax.
they're
What
not
do
going to
you-
flex that.
Washington. What do
tell
you
me they're
mean?
not going to
What's the
flex that?
Sunday
Probably
night game?
not.
Don't disrespect that.
Anyway,
matchup.
Josh Allen's going to have to put up like 1 billion points to beat KC, so that he could be a week 1 performance again.
Yeah,
where he puts up
it
40.
has that vibe. Uh-huh.
Addison, I agree with you. They're going to have to air it out this week. Swift is a good matchup. Ferguson's going to bounce back. Bam Knight against that shit ass Dallas is going to have one last week of glory before Benson's back. And then my Woody Marks will perform.
Okay.
The $110 man.
All right. Zach, are you going to 7-2 and taking down one of the fellow
Let's-
6-2 teams?
Let's take a look at this. I don't know how McCaffrey is projected for more points than Taylor. It just makes no fucking sense.
Because Taylor gets touchdowns. Touchdowns
Stop
are
it!
volatile.
Stop it! Stop it! Jeez, stop
It
it!
is a battle of the 1 versus 2 running back in fantasy.
Yeah, and we all know who number 1 is, so he needs to be projected for more than that bum
I agree
McCaffrey.
with you. I agree with
That
you.
is
on
some BS. This is why ESPN is better.
But
Never
hold
look
on.
things
But
up.
at the same time,
the logic
hold
is
on.
that-
But at the same time, you could make the case that Josh Allen should be projected for
Oh,
more
no
than
way.
Lamar.
No, that-
definitely should be.
Lamar
He
has been out.
100% should be.
That's just not true.
Lamar has been
That's just
out.
not- No way. But he's just overall better. He's just so much better.
Oh yeah, Zach,
I
what are
don't
you
know
gonna do
about
when they're
that.
raping the Dolphins and in the third quarter they take him out for rest?
All right, let's move down my lineup. Let's move down my lineup.
Yeah, Bill, Ass,
No, keep going down.
Chase, Joe
Ooh,
Flacco's hurt.
Lad
Who's throwing the
McConkey.
chase this week?
Oh, yeah. Is he hurt?
That terrorist, Jake Browning?
Relax.
That could be
He's
big for
fine.
Cheese.
Chase
If
will be
if
fine.
Flacco's out, I'm gonna switch my pick
Flacco
to
will be
Cheese.
fine. Okay, McConkey.
Joe Flacco is
I'm
dealing with
telling
an
you right
AC
now.
joint sprain in his throwing shoulder.
Okay, relax. He's
He's
an old
cooked.
guy. He
He's
was
50 years
Thor on
old. He's
Monday,
cooked.
buddy. Relax. McConkey might not be on my team. We are
Wow.
in deep negotiations.
Wow, wait a minute.
with-
You got to keep
Big
McConkey on your team for this week. It's a revenge game. Cheese traded McConkey away.
Yeah, and Dubes and Ward.
Warren
And
is
ever
out
since
for
he's
Bay
traded him
Line
away, he's been
anymore.
popping off.
Dubes may also not be on my team. We are in a
Wow.
huge three-way right now.
No, we're not. The
All right,
three-way
wait,
ended
Zach-
once you send that
If
trade.
Zach was smart,
I'm
he
not
starts
smart,
Matthew
bud.
Stafford this week.
Can I
Ah!
air out this trade that is so close? Do you really want to air it out?
Let's air it
Go
out.
ahead, buddy.
It's
Go
close.
ahead.
I want to hear how we're so close.
This
When
is going to be a sweaty
Stafford,
matchup.
Dobbs, and McConkey were Baker Mayfield, Devontae Smith, Zay Flowers, and Xavier Worthy.
Golfer, this
You
matchup is
basically
coming
want
down.
Devontae Smith and Zay Flowers for Lamb McConkey.
That's not worth. This matchup is
That's
coming
close.
down to the Monday nights. It's going to come down to the Monday nights.
Bam night on Monday night. Whoa.
Well, yeah.
Bam and
you're
Jake
probably-
Ferguson.
You're
Jake
probably
Ferguson.
gonna, you're gonna be losing coming down to Monday night. It's
Yes,
just gonna
I
be a
will
matter
be.
of are you gonna be in reach? Like if you're
Mm.
down like
Yes,
50
I would
come
like.
Monday
I
night,
would
then
like
you
to be
don't have a
down
chance.
in the. I think the 20 to 25 range
Okay, then you
is a good range.
I don't have any Monday Niners.
no.
Nope. Zach has two Thursday nighters tomorrow,
Zach has to get off to a good start tomorrow with
and then he
Leroy.
has a Sunday night
The
Bill
last
disaster
few
class.
Thursdays-
And we
Zach
all
is
know
good.
Zach's issues with kickers. His kicker on Thursday night tomorrow could miss a couple kicks.
Yeah, I think if Zach's
In
kicker has a
prime
bad
time.
night, it's just cooking.
You never know. In prime time matchups with Zach's kickers, they usually miss.
Okay,
Okay.
this is going to be the
Well,
matchup of the
Zach,
week.
you're
This is the matchup of the
winning,
week.
I
by
take
far.
it? Sounds like you're
Yep.
kind of questioning. You didn't even know you didn't have a Monday night player.
Nope. Be all right. Be okay.
So you're
Why is
with
Lad
Lad
the-
call it
questionable?
matchup of the
Limited by
week.
Lad McConkey limited by calf injury on Wednesday.
It's a Wednesday, buddy.
I mean,
It
but that's
is
a
a
new
week.
injury.
Wednesday is the Wednesday.
They don't even have
is-
them listed as
Cheese
questionable.
is Sunday.
They do.
bud.
You had to refresh. They do.
Oh, okay.
Wednesday. is
Look,
Cheese
I
is
just think
Sunday.
that I get the advantage if Joe Flacco's out this week. That's all I'll say.
Well, that's a big if. He's not out yet, but
If he's out, Jake.
I mean,
Browning's
Jake
football
Browning did
terrorist.
have a huge game with with
Yeah,
Jamar
but
a
that's
couple
not-
weeks ago, so it's still possible that it's Jamar Chase. He's still gonna be decent.
Yeah, but you know,
Mm.
it limits it a little bit.
All
Thank
right,
you.
well we'll see.
Zach will
Moving-
get the advantage if you take out Sutton for Booty.
I'm leaving. This is the set lineup. I'm not touching this lineup.
Mm.
Oh, okay. Now you change your mind after
Me
all that.
and-
Nope,
all it took
I'm not
was me
touching
and
this
Rat
lineup.
to question that.
Unless someone gets killed, I'm not. Unless Rashi Rice runs someone over, I'm not changing.
Okay, just go.
All right, moving on to a team that looks run over. Pook at 1-7 versus Rat at 3-5. Monster game for Rat. It's just another game for Pook because, you know, he probably doesn't have much hope these days. But Rat, it's a monster game because not only is he 3-5 and desperately needs this win, but he has made a lot of strong statements this week that he is winning out the rest of the season and making the playoffs and riding into glory. Well, it all starts this week versus Pook, a 1-7 team. If you lose to him, then you're only a game ahead of Pook for possibly that last place.
Rats in shambles.
Your playoff hopes are probably lost. So you better hope you don't lose to Pook. The sleeper says it's closer than what you're proclaiming, 122 to 117. Rat has Caleb Williams against Cincinnati. It's a good matchup for Caleb Williams, but it's Caleb Williams. You never really know what you're going to get with the guy. He could have 20-some huge points, or he could have 4-11. Like he's had the past 2 weeks. If he can't get a lot though against Cincinnati, then you might.
Justin Fields got a lot. If he can,
that's what I'm saying. It might just be a Swift game.
He might be in the Justin Fields.
It might just be a Swift game where they just run the ball like that. The Bears have a new identity these last few weeks. It's ground and pound.
Spam the run.
Ben Johnson is a running guy. J.K. Dobbins against Houston. Tougher matchup. He hasn't been getting the touchdowns. I don't know. Tyrone Tracy, the new RB1, or, former RB1, now back at RB1, against the 49ers. Not a great matchup, and I don't believe in Tracy. I'm not high on him.
On drugs?
I feel like we already seen Tracy before.
Didn't see him with Jackson Dart.
Yeah, but what? He's going to catch a few more balls?
He's projected for more points than
he's going to get like 10 points instead of like his 5 or 6.
Jackson Dart is a
like, look, he had 5.5, 9.10, 5.6.
Russell Wilson was a terrorist.
So he's going to get a couple more catches, and he's going to get like 10 points.
No, he's going to run better because Jackson Dart's a threat to run. Russell Wilson's not a threat to run.
I don't know. I don't see it, especially this week against the 49ers. They're a pretty good team. CeeDee Lamb on Monday night against Arizona. That could be a good game. It's pretty soon that CeeDee has a big game, and it could be this week on Monday night. Zay Flowers tomorrow night to get him started against Miami. The only worry in that type of game is if you would think Derrick Henry and Lamar will be able to run the ball against Miami. So if they get up big, does it just be one of those games where they don't really need Zay Flowers and so he doesn't get a lot of points? That would be the only worry. Colston Loveland in there against Cincinnati. I guess you're just hoping for the quarterback to tight end connection, since he is very bad against tight ends on defense. So that could be something decent. Xavier Worthy against Buffalo. We already talked about that game. It's got to be a shootout type potential. Maybe Worthy can have a good game. I mean, since Rashee Rice has come back, the numbers have just fallen. He's basically a mediocre flex at best. Nico Collins against Denver. Tough matchup for him to come back to. And there is no Surtain, but they still have Riley Moss, who is a good corner. And he returned to practice limited. As a welcome back game, it's not the best type of matchup.
Bomb-ass Broncos.
6-2, buddy.
They're getting exposed.
McPherson against Chicago. And on Pook's side, let's see if Pook has any hope this week. Dak Prescott on Monday night against Arizona. I like that matchup for a big bounce back game from Prescott. I think he outscores Caleb Williams. Kareem Hunt against Buffalo, new RB1 with Pacheco's injury. He already gets all the goal line work. I could see him getting a touchdown in that game. Zach Charbonnet on Sunday night against Washington. I mean, Charbonnet's been getting touchdowns. Pook has 2 running backs this week that have just been finding their way in the end zone. So why not again this week? Diggs against Atlanta. I don't know about that necessarily. He is also banged up. Jalen Waddle tonight. So they both have a Thursday night wide receiver going tomorrow. Jalen Waddle had a big game last week. Baltimore's defense isn't great. He is kind of the focal point of the offense, though, so I don't know. Brock Bowers back against Jacksonville. The only player on Pook's team that is untouchable, apparently, as I found out today. Against Jacksonville. It would be kind of funny if Brock Bowers just has a monster, typical old last year Brock Bowers game against Rat, who had him last year. That would be kind of funny if finally he breaks out with like 25 points light and looks like a wide receiver. Shakir against Kansas City after his big game. The Tennessee wide receiver against the Chargers, I don't love that. And Pinheiro against the Giants. Does he have anybody else besides that Tennessee wide receiver? Matthew Golden against Carolina. I know he's been shit lately, but I would maybe stick him in there and just hope. I could see a way that Pook wins this game. And because Rat is just so confident that he's winning out the rest of the year and he's beating Pook, I think some of Pook's matchups are actually decent this week. And I don't love some of Rat's matchups. So I am going to take Pook with the upset of the week to make Rat eat all his words. Cheese. Who's winning?
Fuck Rat. I beat his bitch ass.
Oh.
His team's... He's been disrespecting my team all
Your team
year.
sucks.
Yeah, he's 35.
So Pook is going to make a run, and Pook's not going to lose a game the rest of the season.
Oh,
so
Okay.
Get out
You
of
didn't
my
have to go
house.
that far. You could
Get
have
out
just
of
said
his
Rat
mouth.
loses.
Look,
this
I
week.
think Pook has the good matchups. For Rat, I think Dobbins' matchup's terrible. I think the Tracy matchup's bad. Nico Collins is still recovering. Worthy is kind of. I mean, Worthy could be good. It's gonna be a heavy scoring game.
I could see him having a good
I like
game.
Worthy. I have never liked Loveland. He hasn't done anything all year to be worthy of his praise. Flowers is okay. I just think Pook has some good matchups this week,
Okay.
and we'll pull it out.
Okay. Zach?
Fake Rat is gonna
Will
lose.
win if I accept your
Fake
trade.
Rat will win. Okay.
Yep, at the moment. No, I said Fake Rat is gonna lose.
Oh, we'll lose. Okay.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
don't see him winning.
Wow. 3 picks for Pook.
I love that.
Almost makes me want to change my pick.
I
for
love that.
Rat. All right. Rat, as you proclaimed, go ahead.
I'm winning. I will say, like you said, could see Brock Bowers coming back and just putting up that score. Loveland, it's time to break out. DJ Moore, hopefully he can miss the game or somebody misses the game, one of the wide receivers.
Okay.
And hopefully Caleb Williams doesn't fall into Justin Fields conversations, because if you can't do well against the Bengals, then you might be one of the worst quarterbacks in the league.
Mm.
It might be.
He's a game manager right now. He just manages the game because they run the ball.
And I will say, Dave Flowers tomorrow versus Waddle. I think it's going to be close, because I think Lamar is going to come back and feed Flowers. They're excited to have Lamar back. So I get Worthy, Shakir. That's pretty even right there, because that's, like Cheese said, that's going to be a shootout. And Nico is going to cook with the Broncos because they suck.
Lol. Okay.
The Broncos suck.
So if Waddle outscores Worthy or Flowers tomorrow, are you then worried?
No.
Okay.
Because Nico will outscore Omni Moore and Shakir combined.
Okay.
Omni, however you say his fucking name.
Until what? Until Sunday during the game when Stroud has no time to throw and he's looking like ass, and you just blame it all on
If
Stroud.
I see the same Stroud I saw without Nico, then we're winning by 20. But if Stroud just randomly shits the bed and doesn't play like he did last week, then I don't know. Because Stroud, that game against the 49ers, Stroud looked like that was one of the best games in his career. He looked good that game. He looked like a top 5 quarterback that game.
Okay.
So hopefully he can keep playing that way. We'll see.
Okay.
We will see. And CeeDee Lamb, Monday night, I think that's 30 points. You'll
Okay.
see. Big game for CD.
All right.
Fake Rat,
What?
you need to begin to look forward to next year, I think.
No.
Wow. Okay.
Rat,
When in
you're
doubt.
Hold
not-
on. Save that for our panic meter here in a second.
Oh, okay, my
All
bad.
right. Moving on then to the next matchup, we have Anth versus Bill. And wow, Sleeper has this a dead even matchup, 120 to 120. This is a big one for Anth. And actually, this is a big one for the standings overall, but this is a really big one for Anth. He's lost some games here. He's got it at 4-4. Bill is right behind him at 3-5. A lot of people said possibly Ant's the one that maybe falls out of that playoff race and goes on a downhill spiral. Bill, after his big close victory last week, trying to make some magical playoff run here. It starts this week by taking down someone you're trying to catch. So this is a big opportunity for Bill's team. Bill has Jackson Dart against the 49ers. Derrick Henry on Thursday night to get him started tomorrow. That is a good matchup against Miami. They are horrible against the run, except I guess when they play Atlanta against Bijan, one of the best running backs. I guess they shut him down, but I expect Henry to have a good game. Gibbs coming back off bye against Minnesota. It's Gibbs, not much to say. What is it with Bill and Tennessee wide receivers? He just loves to start them when they're god awful. C. Dyke against the Chargers. I don't like that at all. What has he done recently? He did have 16 the last 2 weeks, so I guess that's why Bill's riding with him. So we got Pook starting that one Tennessee wide receiver, and Bill starting this one. I don't think there's enough good volume in Tennessee to be having 2 fantasy-relevant wide receivers, but we'll see. McMillan against Green Bay, a little tougher matchup. I could see him getting, one of his 10-point games instead of like he got last week. We'll see, though. Kittle against the Giants, pretty decent matchup there. Hunter Henry against Atlanta, and he's sticking with the same flexes that he had last week. Darnell Mooney against the Patriots. He's not going with his 3 tight end strat again, which is why he needs to change his team name, because he didn't have 3 tight ends in one lineup last week, and he doesn't have 3 tight ends in his lineup this week. Your name is a fraud, Bill. Change it. And then let's see, he's got Ibuka on bye and his other Fannin on bye. On Ant's side, Patrick Mahomes against Buffalo. We already talked about that. It could be a back and forth, big time game for both Allen and Mahomes. James Cook against Kansas City as well. So man, that matchup is going to be big for Anth. Cook has been running well. Kamara against the Rams, a little tougher matchup there. DK Metcalf against the Colts. Josh Downs against Pittsburgh if he plays. He missed practice on Wednesday. I'm hoping he's out because then I may start Alec Pierce. Jawan Johnson against the Rams, also interesting. Stevenson against Atlanta. I don't know. He missed practice with a toe injury. So if he is out, then Anth has Etienne. Has he not changed his lineup yet? Surely he's playing Etienne against the Raiders. Surely he's putting him in there.
I don't think he's changed his lineup.
Yeah, so probably he's in there instead of Stevenson. Or he moves Pittman in for Downs, takes out Downs and puts in Etienne.
London's still not in
He
there.
also has Troy Franklin. Oh, yeah, London. So, yeah, he's going to have London in there for – probably going to put Pittman in for Downs, Downs out, London in, and probably Etienne in for Stevenson. So his lineup's going to get a lot better looking than what it looks right now. And Prater against Kansas City. Based on those lineup decisions, assuming he makes those, I'm going to take Anth. Though Bill got a win last week, he didn't score that many points. He hasn't scored that many points in a while, and I just don't think Bill has enough on his team. He has got 2 good running backs, but after that, and Kittle's not bad, but after that, his flexes are just so bad. His wide receivers aren't really good either. McMillan's not bad, but he's like a wide receiver 2. He's not a top wide receiver, and he doesn't really have a top wide receiver. So I'm going to take Anth in kind of like a 20, 25-point victory. Although I would hope that Bill wins because that kind of helps me, but I just don't see it. Cheese.
It's gonna be Anth. Bill's
Okay.
gonna make a good effort though.
Okay. Rat.
Anth, unless this Dyke guy scores like 35 points.
Okay.
Dyke, however you say his name.
All right. Zach.
Going with Bill. Bill
Wow.
pulls one out. Bill's made some poor fantasy management decisions these last couple weeks, but he'll clean it up.
Okay. Interesting. All right. So you're buying the Bill magic. All right. Okay. So there's that. What happened here? All right. All right, so there's that. On to the final matchup of Week 9. We have Tyler versus Zombie. This is also another big one for the standings, as both teams are 5-3. So big battle here to see who can go to 6-3. The loser falls to 5-4 and is a little shakier for playoffs. Right now, Sleeper projecting Zombie to win 144 to 124. So big time scoreline for Zombie projected. Zombie obviously has Herbert against Tennessee. Great matchup there as long as he doesn't get benched and they don't just run it a bunch with Vidal and he doesn't get his touchdown passes. Chain tomorrow night against Baltimore. Baltimore's defense has been leaky, but they have kind of tightened it up the last couple of weeks. But it is Chain, and even if they're losing big, he'll get checked down. So he should have a good game. Juggernaut Gervonta on Monday night against Arizona. Pretty decent spot there. Amon-Ra back off bye against Minnesota. Rashee Rice against Buffalo. That could be great for him. Tyler Warren against Pittsburgh. Pretty good matchup as well for a bigger game for Warren after kind of just mediocre last week. Rome Odunze against Cincinnati. That is a great spot as well after his big game last week against that bad defense for Cincy. The Gatson against Tennessee, also pretty good. Damn, Zombie has a lot of good matchups this week. And Jacoby Myers against Washington on Sunday night. On Tyler's side, Jaden Daniels, assuming he plays against Seattle. Tough defense for Seattle, and no Scary Terry. I don't know. Kenneth Walker on Sunday night as well, so he's got 2 Sunday night players against Washington. I mean, he's going to need to get some touchdowns at some point if he's going to be good, because the rushing yards alone isn't enough to get him points with the way they're using Charbonnet. Aaron Jones against Detroit. So Tyler, it's interesting. Tyler's running backs. He's got 2 guys that are basically in like committees, and they're not getting a lot of points because they're not the guys getting the touchdowns. Although, Aaron Jones maybe against Detroit brings out some magic, but we'll see. Wandell against the 49ers. Don't love that. Puka Nacua, though, back against the Saints. Obviously, he could put up a big score line. They could also take it a little conservative with him if they get up big, just to make sure he's healthy. Kelsey against Buffalo. Keenan Allen against Tennessee. That is decent. Chris Olave against the Rams. And Will Lutz against Houston. I'm going to take Zombie. I kind of agree with Sleeper. I think it's going to be a blowout for Zombie in this one. I just don't love Tyler's matchups. I don't love his running backs. Meanwhile, on Zombie's side, I love his running back matchups this week, and St. Brown back, and Herbert back. I mean, he really doesn't have any bad matchup this week for any of his players. And I think he scores a lot of points, could score the most points on the week, unfortunately for Tyler. Cheese, who's winning?
This is the Tyler downfall.
Ooh, okay, so it starts this week, huh?
He needed Puka to be healthy, get him some wins the last couple weeks. So
Okay. So you're picking Zombie. All right, Rat?
I'm taking Zombie. I think we always talk about projections being fake, but honestly, it's pretty accurate right now with the team Zombie has.
Okay.
And he wins by 30.
Wow, okay. Zach?
This will be a tie.
Ty?
I think we have 2, Zombie's a little better, but Tyler could pull one out. He's sneaky.
All right, so a high-scoring tie?
Maybe a mid-table 120s tie.
Really? Okay. Interesting. All right, so there we have the Week 9 matchups. Good luck to everyone this week. No Sunday morning overseas game this week. I think it comes back like next week or something, so that's good at least.